Welcome back. It's time for Four's Pet Project, sponsored by Harold & Harold. And joining us this morning is Allison Abbott with Friends of Jacksonville Animals. And we have Waffle.
Yes, I brought Waffle on again. And
so
I brought
cute.
on another tripod.
Yeah, she's a
because the
tripod
shelter does
dog.
have a few of them there. Yeah. And just to show, they don't act handicapped. They don't steal their handicap.
Oh, gosh, no.
She jumped in the car like a champ. She walks great on a leash.
She's so chill.
Yeah, she has no idea she's different. But and if you can get her eyes, she has the prettiest hazel eyes.
She's so pretty.
She has been on a few shelter outings, and she has just been perfect. She is great with everyone she meets, including kids. Get over here, big girl. See, she has no problem. And she will roll over her belly rubs. She's good with other dogs and appears to be non-reactive to cats. And she likes her morning naps.
She is just chilling on the floor. She is sprawled out on her belly.
Yeah.
She's a honey pie.
Yeah.
Well, I know last week we talked about the HVAC system being out.
Yes.
You guys still looking for fosters?
Still for the next 5 weeks. So again, go meet her, take her home. She appears to be housebroken.
Yeah.
They desperately would like to get the dogs out so they can work on the various runs.
Okay.
And not have to double kennel, whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's a short-term foster. Again, they'll give you everything you need: supplies, food, crate. Just tell them what you need, and they'll give you a dog that suits your household.
Well, perfect. Thank you. To adopt today's pet, Waffle, stop by Animal Care and Protective Services at 2024 Street, open from noon to 7 Tuesday through Friday and 10 to 6 Saturdays and Sundays. Morning show. We'll be right back. Stick around.
So I used to live and work in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I'm looking back at my old station's website there in Lincoln, which in Lincoln is about 50 miles from Omaha.
All right.
So 3 people were injured. But you know what this is reminding me of? Now, I was not there when this happened, but it's still a huge story. So 20 years ago, so 2004, there was the Hallam tornado. And it went through multiple counties, but the worst destruction was in the town called Hallam. It essentially leveled the entire town.
Wow.
And let me see, it was an F4. I'm sorry, yes, an F4 tornado, and is, according to NOAA, is the second largest tornado on record.
Oof. Yeah. And just the fact that this past yesterday, 80 reported tornadoes. I mean, that's like people calling in saying, I see a tornado, I see a tornado, I see a tornado, 80 times.
Wow.
And then the path even through Omaha I saw was there were 5 different paths. I mean, and the tornado doesn't, I mean, it will go where it goes. And one house might be fine and the next house completely leveled. I mean, it's the most frightening thing to see paths of tornadoes. I saw them in Texas growing up. I mean, it's super scary, and those folks all had a plan, because if there were only injuries, but 100, I mean, in that report, 120 houses destroyed, but only injuries, that's amazing.
Yes, definitely. And we know that tornadoes can impact parts of our area, but fortunately today we're not dealing with any of that.
No, none of that. But we do have a good article that Mark Collins wrote on our website about tornadoes. You might want to check it out. But today we're just watching some rain, and it's moving on out. It could be disruptive in the morning a little bit. Like if you're out walking the dog and you get rained on, that's a little bit of an inconvenience. But all in all, the rain's moving out quickly. It moved in offshore, and here it is going now through our Clay County area, Putnam. Y'all are getting some of this up around I-10, and again, moving quickly out of here and leaving behind some windy conditions and some cloudy conditions. We will see the sun today, and it will warm up. So here's a raindrop on our camera here in Green Cove Springs. Couple of them here, but again, moving out and not much of a factor. Dark skies up here at the airport though, 77 degrees. The winds out of the east at 13. That's going to be what we're watching for you today. The windy conditions, the gusty conditions that are going to occur later on this afternoon will be a factor for those going to the beach, going to be outside for the football game or the flag football or baseball, golfers. Winds will affect just about everyone today. So for the forecast today, we will be around 77 at 5 p.m. We're going to top out around 80 today, and then temperatures will start to drop just into the low 70s. Really not bad at all. Mostly cloudy though by this evening. So the weather headlines look like this: partly cloudy, windy, and we'll have cleary, breezy conditions. I'll break it down for you hour by hour coming up.
All right, thanks so much, Michelle. I love cruises. This makes me think about my aunt and uncle. They literally last weekend drove from New York stopped
That's
by
right, they came by
Jacksonville.
here,
Yeah,
right.
they stayed
came
at
by.
my house for one night and then drove to Port Canaveral for their cruise.
Oh, that's
There you go on
awesome.
cruises every 3 months.
Do you have a
They're
cruise
members.
planned for the summer?
I don't, but I am planning to go to Panama. So I'm excited for that. But I really, really want to do Brazil one day. Like that is like my goal. What about you guys?
So say my dream trip is Iceland. So it's cool to see it mentioned in the story.
Yeah, she said it's a hot spot.
Oh, it is. I feel
believe
like
it.
everybody's going there. I know Vic Begalucci went there not too long ago with Chris, our photojournalist, and she said what I want to see, the Northern Lights.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Exactly.
What about you?
We are actually going on a Virgin Voyage this summer.
fabulous.
So me and my husband and my daughter and her boyfriend and his parents.
Oh,
so
sweet.
yeah, I mean, you have to be over 18 and everyone plans to have a really good time.
be awesome.
So let us know what your summer vacations are. Just hit us up on Facebook. We'd love to hear it.
Snapchats too.
Yeah, Snapchats. Send us your Snapchats photos. Thank you. Be an insider. Love that. All right, starting to dry out here in St. Augustine. Here's a view from the White Room. They had some heavy rains come through here, just some downpours, and now moving out. So that's the good news. Hopefully the sun will come out and dry up the landy land here in a little while. But here's a look at the radar, and it, like I said, these storms, not storms, they're just showers, are moving away towards I-75 now, just dumping some rain and moving on, leaving behind some cloudy conditions and some windy conditions as well. Here's a look at Julington Creek right now, 74 degrees, the winds out of the southeast at 8. Easterly winds are going to be a factor for most of the day. We're going to hit between 15 and 20 mile per hour winds, gusts even more than that throughout the day. Opening of the beaches is this weekend, so it's official. Summer's here, right? That's what it means. But what it really means is today at 2:30 is the Sandcastle contest. And if you've never seen the Sandcastle contest, just north of the pier in Jacksonville Beach, it is a sight to behold because these people are brilliant with their sandcastles. Very high UV index, make sure you slather it on. And the rip current risk is high. Strong swimmers only should be in the water today. All right, hour by hour, let's take a look what's happening at 11 o'clock. Temperatures moving into the mid-70s. These showers moving out of the area. This is the 10 to 20% chance that we've been talking about. It's mostly to the south. So southeast Georgia, y'all are going to stay mostly dry. We've seen some hit or miss showers along I-10 and right at the border here, but otherwise dry conditions will exist throughout the day, even with the cloud coverage. So 79 by 1 o'clock, maybe tipping into the 80s as our high at the airport today. 77 will pretty much be where we stay at the beaches with that onshore wind. It will be breezy, blustery, and just make sure you tie everything down pretty good so it doesn't blow away. Could be a good day to fly a kite though, you know, pick up one. Waycross 71 by 9 o'clock tonight, 69 down in Stark, and then overnight temperatures will stay in that mid 60 to upper 60 degree range. This is the gusty wind conditions that I was talking about. So look at 9 o'clock, we're already going to see the effects of some of those gusty conditions. By 3 o'clock, still mid 20s as far as the gusts are concerned. Once the sun sets right at 8:02 tonight, the winds should die down, but still the beaches could remain a little bit more blustery as the wind moves onshore. Tomorrow though, not as much wind, no rain in the forecast for tomorrow. Temperatures right around 79, 80 degree, and that's where we're going to be for tomorrow. We'll start to heat up as May starts to move in and temperatures back in the 90s by the end of the week.
Michelle, we saw some rain earlier. It's a little cloudy, but eventually it's going to be nice and beautiful outside.
Yeah, I think we will top off with a pretty nice day overall. Be a bit breezy at times, but there's lots going on. I mean, there's an arthritis walk that's happening. There's the opening of the beaches with the Sandcastle contest. The parade's tomorrow, so we'll be talking about that tomorrow morning. But really, it's already warm. Look at that. It's 78 degrees at Mayport. Is that right? Yeah, it's 9:30 and it's 78 degrees, but the wind is blustery. It's going to stay that way, especially out at the beaches all day long. So here's a look at our radar. We did have some little shower activity come across through northern Flagler, southern St. Johns counties. Now we just have some shower activity right here again. Now these little showers are going to pop up here and there, but by 1 o'clock we should be dry, out of the clear of any shower. So here's a look at Jacksonville Beach. Look at these people. See, look at the wind blowing the tents right here and the umbrellas. I see you, but make sure they're secure when you go out there today, because you don't want those blown away and hitting somebody and getting hurt. Here's a look at 501 Riverside. Looks nice downtown. Clouds are starting to break up a little bit. We'll be under partly cloudy skies all day long, but temperatures right now in the 70s, and that is a little bit warm for this time of morning. Looking ahead, though, throughout the day, we'll be close to 80 for most of our afternoon, and the winds will be gusty. So keep that in mind, and I'll break it down for you hour by hour in just a little bit.
All right, Michelle, thank you.
ExactTrack 4D constantly scans for new threats in your neighborhood, alerting you faster than ever when severe storms are heading your way.
Well, we know this weekend rather, is the opening of the beaches, but is it really a good beach day?
So it's windy, and I have the beach camera that I'm going to show you in just a second, but it's windy, and there's a sandcastle contest today, which you can't not see.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going to be in traffic, though, at the beach is always going to be a pain. But here's a look at the Jacksonville beach cam, and you can see, yeah, it's windy out here. The winds are directly out of the east, which is flattening the waves, which is also causing the rip currents. But the wind is going to be a factor, and hopefully it won't blow over the sandcastles that are happening this afternoon at 2:30. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be cloudy. So just keep that in mind too. But the wind is really more of the factor than that. All right, here's a look downtown. This is from our Artica cam. It's pretty. Yeah, the clouds are starting to lift just a little bit as the rain has finally moved through. World Golf Village, you guys got some rain here just a little while ago. These little spotty hit or miss showers, they're still kind of popping in offshore. So here's like right along this road right here. I'm thinking this is 210 or International Golf Parkway. And then it's going to go off to the west. So yes, there is some rain. It's going to be, like I said, spotty showers until about 1 o'clock, but then the clouds will stick around, but our temperatures will be on the rise, but the wind will increase as well. So right now in southeast Georgia, temperatures upper 60s, low 70s, quite nice actually for 9:47 in the morning. Looking out at St. Augustine, Palm Coast, this is kind of that area of rain, 68, Keystone Heights, 72. In Lake City, temperatures right now in the Jacksonville metro area, 75 in Fernandina, 76 in Arlington. Temperatures will move a few more degrees north, if you will, up to close to 80. But it's the windy gusts that we need to keep in mind throughout the day. So if you do go to the beach and you saw those people, they had their anchors down, it looked like, because their shelter was not flying away, their coverage. 20 at the beach by 1 o'clock. These are gusty conditions. Now, sustained winds could be between 10 and 15 miles per hour, and then that gust will come and just whoosh everything away. So 24 is a gusty condition. By 6 o'clock, we're still going to be in the mid 20s for some folks, upper teens, even by 9 o'clock. So sunset is at 8:02, and the windy conditions are going to remain with us throughout the evening. They'll start to die down overnight and into tomorrow, but even tomorrow morning we could see gusty conditions at the beach. So if you do have a beach walk planned tomorrow, it could be windy out there, but I think for the parade we should have really nice weather coming up tomorrow. All right, so hour by hour at 11 o'clock, like I said, some of those showers moving out. The white here, of course, is cloud coverage. The sun will peep through every now and then. Even with clouds, you can still burn, which is why the UV is high, very high. So make sure you stay covered in that respect. 2 a.m. overnight clouds will kind of blanket our area, keep us a little bit on the warm side. So here's our lows for tomorrow morning. 70s out at the beaches, low 60s near Hilliard, 62 Middleburg, 64 Palatka, very similar to what we're experiencing today. But tomorrow, less clouds, still some breezy conditions, but not as warm. So we're going to see 79 maybe as our high in Jacksonville tomorrow, 81 in Lake City and out near I-75, closer to 85. So the planning forecast, 7-day forecast looks like this. We move into May early next week, and temperatures will move back in to the mid to upper 80s. So we'll start to see those warm temperatures back on the calendar as the week progresses, with only a slight chance of rain as we end the week. Currently 9:50. Stick around. The morning show will be right back.
In the passenger seat, hoping to get through, and then he got caught.
I just wonder if he's like having conversations with that guy, you know? Like, hey, dude, you know, like acting like there is actually somebody in the car with him.
So I think we've got bigger problems, though, if that's the situation.
I mean, that is a thing. There is a show on TLC about that. I've seen it myself. That is a thing.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh, all right. It's going to be blustery today, so definitely tie down the tents, but temperature should be in the 80s under partly cloudy skies.
All right, not looking too bad.
Yeah, before we know it, the 90s will be back.
They're coming.
All right, have a great day.
See why every day more people are choosing News 4 Jax, Northeast Florida and South Georgia's #1 source for local news.